Today, on The Backdrop, we're taking you on a short cruise aboard the Disney Wonder, where we'll explore everything from the spectacular entertainment and immersive dining to the magical kids clubs and more. Be sure to stick around to the end as we'll tell you what this cost and answer the big question: is a Disney cruise worth it if you're travelling without kids? Let's dive in. Good morning, it is Friday the 3rd of January 2025 and welcome back to The Backdrop. Today we are starting off an exciting year of cruising on Disney Wonder. We're off on her for 3 days, and on this cruise we're going to see what it's really like to cruise on a Disney cruise ship with no children. We arrived a little early at the terminal for our 1 p.m. boarding time so we could soak up the atmosphere and have some lunch. Now, I know that lunch is available on board, but since we had some time to kill, we decided to eat before boarding so that we could make the most of our precious time on board. The art gallery next to the terminal does a pretty good toasty, and the view's not that bad either. This is one of the great things about cruising from the overseas passenger terminal in Sydney. Just a small note, being a smaller ship, Disney Wonder does sometimes depart from Sydney's White Bay terminal, which allows it to cruise under the harbour bridge, which in itself is an incredible experience that very few cruisers get to enjoy. Also, if you're leaving from the OPT, be sure to consider booking a portside cabin for those incredible views of the Opera House and the city as you are docked, and especially for those sunrise shots coming back into the harbour. Okay, back to Embarkation. The word of the moment was queues, and boy were there a lot of them, all packed with very excited families and some already tired looking parents. Thankfully, they did all move fairly quickly. I guess if anybody knows how to manage queues, it's Disney. So within half an hour, we were being personally welcomed on board. This is such a lovely touch, and one that we learned is to create that feeling of inclusivity from the moment you step on board. Nice touch. And that welcome wasn't the only surprise waiting for us. The atrium of the ship was still decorated for Christmas and looked incredible. We like to spend Embarkation Day exploring our new ship, and on Wonder on Embarkation Day, the youth centres have an open house, so after a quick wander, that's where we headed. Highly recommend you take this chance to have a peek around. They are incredible and without a doubt the best youth centres that we've seen on a ship. And even if you're not travelling with kids like us, it's definitely worth a look at these fantastic spaces. There are 5 different youth areas on board, so let's start with the nursery. It's a Small World nursery is home to the youngest of children from 6 months to 3 years, although I do believe it's from 1 year on certain itineraries, so be sure to check on that one. This area offers games, crafts and movies, and there's the most beautiful room available for those who are exhausted from all the fun. The Oceaneers Club is where little ones aged 3 to 10 can interact with each other as well as beloved Disney characters in several connected multi-themed spaces. Each area is packed full of activities designed around some of Disney's favourite movies. Connecting all the areas is the central library with a massive screen for watching movies or for meeting Disney characters. Andy's room takes you into the world of Toy Story. It's a brightly decorated room with a very cute giant Slinky Dog slide. And apparently Woody and Jessie make an appearance here too. In Marvel Superhero Academy, our Avengers and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans will love this space, especially when those superheroes drop in for a visit. Mickey and Minnie's Captain's Deck is one of the smaller areas designed for the younger children. It's a nautical themed playroom which has been inspired by the colours, icons and the magic of the Disney Cruise Line. In Frozen Adventures, your little Annas, Elsas and Olafs can enjoy lots of Frozen fun, and apparently the sing-alongs in here are very popular. And of course, being a Disney ship, the addition of the characters really adds magic that you just don't get anywhere else. Also for the 3 to 10 year olds is the Oceaneer Lab, which is a massive interactive space designed to inspire imaginations through crafts, experiments and games. Disney have created Edge only for the tweens, where they can meet, play games, watch movies and more. Sadly, we didn't get into Edge, so we don't have any actual footage to share, but we do love that the tweens have their very own space to chill. If you're cruising with teenagers aged 14 to 17, then they'll love Vibe. It's somewhere to leave the parents behind and chill, listen to music, watch TV, play games, dance parties, karaoke and so much more, all with cruisers their own age. After our whirlwind tour of the youth centres, the cabins were finally ready for us, so it was time to ditch the carry-ons and find our home for the next few nights. This is cabin 7066, which is located on deck 7 portside. This cabin was perfect for us. It had so much space thanks to the inclusion of a large sofa bed, making it feel a bit more like a mini suite. There was also plenty of storage, a mini fridge, a TV, and we loved the split toilet and bathroom. Keep an eye on the channel for an in-depth cabin tour soon. Let's talk food. Disney Cruise Lines offer Rotational Dining, which is a signature experience that makes evening meals really special. Each evening, you'll rotate through one of the 3 uniquely themed restaurants, Tritons, Animators Palate and Tiana's Place. Your serving team follows you throughout the cruise. This means you get to know your servers, who in turn get to know you and your preferences, while still being able to experience the distinct atmosphere, cuisine and entertainment of each restaurant. Make your way past the beautiful bronze statue of Ariel and you'll find the entrance to Tritons. Designed in a beautiful Art Deco style, Tritons is packed full of ornate lighting, stained glass, sea-inspired architectural flourishes and a massive mural of Ariel and her father. Tritons is open for breakfast, lunch and dinner, and it was the first stop for us on our rotational dining experience on board. Of the 3 main restaurants on board, Tritons is the most traditional in terms of resembling a standard cruise ship main dining room, but that's where the similarity ends. We loved the food in here, even the steak, which is often a letdown or an added extra in a main dining room. And when Mickey and Donald and all their friends came in for a visit, the room was electric with excitement. Unfortunately, we had a terrible table though, which did affect our experience a little bit. We were stuck at the back in a corner next to the doors to the kitchen, so all evening, dinner was accompanied by a stream of servers and noise from the kitchen. But thankfully, our table buddies were lovely company, which made up for it. Night 2 dining for us was in Animators Palate, which is a unique and innovative restaurant offering not just dinner but an interactive show celebrating the art of storytelling where Disney characters come to life before your eyes. The room itself is bright, light and colourful and the walls are covered in hand-drawn Disney images. As you're seated, you're provided with paper and pens and encouraged to draw your very own self-portrait, and then your drawings come to life alongside favourite Disney characters on the screens all around the room, which is a lot of fun. And of course the food was really good. Third and final dinner on this cruise was actually our favourite, in Tiana's Place. Tiana's Place is more of a supper club, with southern cooking, New Orleans charm and live jazz music, all inspired by the Princess and the Frog movie. Tiana's is a really vibrant restaurant, full of energy, and as for the menu, we loved it. Tiana personally visited every table to welcome us all to her restaurant, and that was a lovely touch, and the show was a whole lot of fun. We've always loved Creole and Cajun cooking, and Tiana's did not disappoint. All in all, we loved the rotational dining experience on board and we would rate the food really highly. What's a cruise without a pizza or a hot dog by the pool or a cheeky ice cream on a hot afternoon? Disney have got you covered with a great range of casual dining options and they're all included in your fare. Daisy's Delights was a favourite of ours. It offers a more health conscious option such as salads, wraps and fruit, as well as delicious and not so healthy cookies. If pizza's your thing, then indulge in a slice from Pinocchio's, which is located next to Goofy's Pool. This one's open from lunch till late, and there's also a 24-hour beverage station featuring complimentary water, ice, soft drinks, tea, coffee, hot chocolate and juice, really nearby. Who doesn't love an ice cream at sea? Ice Cream Treats is the place to indulge that sweet tooth with options of chocolate and vanilla soft serve.
Pretty good. I'll take that one.
A perfect option for an alfresco lunch is Pete's Boiler Bites, where you can get classic American fare like burgers, hot dogs and tacos. Cabanas, the buffet on Wonder, is on the small side, and it offers food stations set up to resemble a boardwalk, with each station replicated on each side of the ship. It's open for breakfast and lunch only, so that everybody can enjoy the rotational dining experience in the evening. And don't miss out on that lovely outdoor space at the back of Cabanas, which is a great spot for lunch if it's not too windy. We also found that towards the end of service, this place got really quiet, and it was the best place to enjoy a quiet coffee and the ship's wake. There's just one specialty dining restaurant on board, and that's Palo. This restaurant is open daily for dinner, and on sea days it's also open for brunch. Palo is exclusively adult only, so if you're looking for a quiet meal away from the hustle and bustle of the rest of the ship, don't miss this one. We had the brunch and the food was excellent. The food is Italian in style, reflecting on the ship's beginnings in Italy, and of course, being Italian, it was definitely a hearty meal. So if you're visiting Palo for brunch, don't eat breakfast. Oh, and since we had brunch, the ocean views were incredible, which I think you would definitely miss out on if you went for dinner. Wide World of Sports is the name of the sports court on Wonder, and it's right at the front of the ship. It can be a bit windy up there, but the sports court was always popular with cruisers playing table tennis and basketball in the fresh air. Of course, if you're not feeling energetic, it's also the perfect spot to take in the breathtaking views. And as well as the sports court on deck 10, on deck 4 there's a shuffleboard game and a running track. Goofy's Pool is the main family pool area on Wonder and is the central point for deckside festivities and fun. It's on deck 9 midship, and as well as the family pool there are 2 hot tubs. The pool here can be covered, and it becomes the focus for the Mickey's Sail Away party, the Pirates show and the Marvel Heroes Unite live shows. Also located here is the massive 24 feet wide funnel vision screen showing Disney favourites day and night, as well as major sporting events and TV shows. That naughty trio, Huey, Dewey and Louie, are the focus of the Aqualab water park. This area has a whole series of jets, geysers, bubblers, pipes, levers and water play fun to keep the little ones entertained. And of course, a major feature in this area is the Twist and Spout water slide. Last but not least, this is also where you'll find Dory's Reef, a water play area dedicated to babies and toddlers, all themed to Disney's Finding Dory movie. One of the main reasons we booked this cruise was because of its many adult-only areas. Wonder actually has more adult-only areas than many of the other ships we've been on, so as much as we love everything Disney, we were hoping for a little adult fun too. Cove Cafe is our first stop, and it's a small adults-only lounge serving really fantastic coffee. It's a great quiet spot for working or relaxing, and while the drinks are chargeable, they do include treats to accompany your coffee. The Quiet Cove pool is exclusively for adults, and on Embarkation Day we were shocked to see it pretty much deserted. But that didn't last long. It quickly became a popular spot on the cruise, and those sunbeds were quite tricky to find. It's not a massive space, but it's perfect for the number of people using it, and as well as the pool there are 2 hot tubs. No adult pool is complete without a poolside bar, and on Wonder this is called Signals. This is a very relaxed space, perfect for grabbing a cold drink in the sunshine. The hub of adult entertainment on board is a dedicated precinct called After Hours. It's located forward of the atrium on deck 3, and while it's open to everybody during the day, by night it's strictly adults only. After Hours feels completely different to the rest of the ship. It's very much less Disney and has a beautiful hallway with stunning contemporary chandeliers and curtain-clad portholes. This beautiful area is also home to 3 very different bars and lounges. We're starting our tour of the after-hours venues in the Cadillac Lounge. This is an intimate piano lounge with nightly pianists and a very chilled atmosphere. It's also the place to be if you love incredible cocktails. The design of the entire space is inspired by the iconic Cadillac car, and the bars showcase the authentic-looking Cadillac Eldorado grill. Check out the plush seating replicating car seats, sparkling chrome accessories and hubcap tables. This lounge is the ultimate chill-out spot for adults on board. Cadillac Lounge is also the place to enjoy one or two of the purchasable beverage tasting seminars. We did the mixology session and loved it. We actually learned so much more about cocktails than just how to mix a couple of recipes. If you've ever been in an English pub, then you'll be transported back there as soon as you enter the Crown and Fin. It's dark and cosy with wood panels, leather seating and that gorgeous pressed tin ceiling, and so much Disney-inspired memorabilia around the place that you've got to spend some time just looking at it all. This was also home to many of the ship's trivia competitions, and it also had a heap of board games and some built-in chessboards. If you're a sports fan, this is also the place to get your fix from one of the many big screens around the room showing live sporting events. Azure is a beautiful light and bright venue, apparently designed to mimic the colours and appearance of the ocean. It's home to many family-friendly events such as bingo and trivia during the day, but by night Azure transforms to an adult-only space offering adult-only themed game shows and dancing. We toured the Senses Spa and Salon on Embarkation Day, and it's a beautiful, peaceful place. It's very typical of a cruise ship spa with plenty of treatment rooms and the usual array of services. It also has a small rainforest-themed thermal suite with aromatherapy steam rooms, a sauna and heated beds. The prices typically are high in here, but they did seem open to discussing making a deal if we signed up on Embarkation Day, so if you're planning on using the spa, that's the day to visit. The fitness centre is accessed via the spa, and as you'd expect, it's packed full of state-of-the-art equipment and stunning ocean views. There's plenty of cardio equipment and weights, and there's some really lovely changing rooms with showers, relaxation areas and saunas. If you're looking for family-friendly fun, then D Lounge is the place to be. It's home to lots of cruise favourites such as karaoke, trivia and game shows and competitions. And for the dancing queens amongst you, this is the place to be for a family-friendly nightclub in the evening. There's a full bar in here which also has a decent range of non-alcoholic drinks and smoothies. The French Quarter Lounge is designed to take you straight to New Orleans with its wrought iron detailing, park bench seats and trolley car, and that incredible French Quarter styling. During the day, French Quarter Lounge offers family fun games, trivia and crafts, and once the sun goes down, it's the perfect spot for some live jazz. We've touched on the fact that Disney hosts all the usual cruise favourites such as trivia, game shows, arts and crafts, but where Disney stands head and shoulders above most of the other cruise lines is its theatre entertainment. The Buena Vista Theatre is a beautiful Hollywood-inspired 278-seat movie theatre, and it shows classics and brand new still-in-movie theatre Disney shows. But the Walt Disney Theatre is where the magic really happens. This is the home to state-of-the-art theatre shows on board with costumes, sets and performances you'd expect on Broadway. Sadly, there's no filming allowed during these shows, so you'll just have to use your imagination, but we can guarantee that these are performances not to be missed, and Disney Cruise Lines have designed the evening shows to align perfectly with the rotational dining so nobody misses out. And of course, there's one final thing that makes a Disney cruise extra special, and that's the ability to meet and mingle with those beloved Disney characters. The Disney Cruise Line app provides a daily schedule of where and when you can meet your various characters on board. Most of the character meet and greets were in the atrium, and boy were the queues long for those. We'd often see people lining up well over half an hour ahead of a session, and there were often more than one happening at a time, so it did get hectic in there. It did, however, look like quite often what was happening was one parent was standing in place in the line while the other kept the kids amused elsewhere. So if you're planning on doing that, don't forget you don't need a Wi-Fi package because there's a basic messaging app on the Disney app. Personally, we didn't queue for any of the meets and greets other than on the final night when the queues were much smaller. And of course, you just never know when you might just bump into somebody, so keep your eyes peeled. And if you're collecting autographs, keep those books handy. As well as the meet and greets and those amazing theatre shows, there were also deck parties jam-packed full of characters, and we'd highly recommend getting in early for a decent spot for those because they get really busy. And of course, if you're waiting a long time on deck, make sure you've got a jacket or blanket because it gets cold up there at night. There's no doubt the Disney cruise experience is not a cheap cruise experience. It's one of the more expensive cruises we've done, and whilst there is a lot included, when you do add extras on, they do add up pretty quickly, especially when you remember that everything on there is in US dollars. For example, the brunch in Palo cost us $66 US per person, which is approximately 110 Aussie dollars. Now compare that to a meal that we've just booked on a cruise with Princess next month. That one's only 68 Australian dollars per person, so it's almost double the cost. The basic cost of this 3-day cruise for us was 3,064 Australian dollars. Added on top was Wi-Fi, alcoholic drinks, a mixology class and that meal in Palo. Disney Wonder is an older ship, having been launched in 1999, but you wouldn't know that she's that old as she's been impeccably maintained and she looks and feels much fresher than even some of the newer ships we've cruised on. She might be older and smaller and missing some of the bells and whistles of more modern ships, but overall this ship is fantastic and we loved it. Disney have designed and maintained every inch of this ship to dazzle and delight its guests, and that combined with the incredible Disney experiences provided on board make this an unforgettable family holiday. But the important question for us, did we enjoy it as a middle-aged couple on board with no kids? This is actually a very difficult question to answer because it's not exactly cut and dry. We loved the full-on Disney experience, we loved the characters, the food, the amenities and the entertainment. The problem we found though was that as evening came and we were looking for some nightlife, pretty much all the bars and clubs were empty. Like by 9 PM we'd be in the pub with only 6 other guests. We're not sure if it was simply the time of year, maybe our itinerary, or maybe it's always like this, but we found that after dinner, the adult-only bars and lounges were extremely quiet. And we had hoped that with kids in the kids clubs, parents might have had a little time to relax and enjoy those spaces. But sadly that didn't seem to happen, and this had a large effect on the ambience of those venues. So, despite loving this ship, for this reason, we'd be unlikely to cruise with Disney again. We prefer a ship with much more nightlife. Please leave us a comment if you've sailed on Disney Wonder and if your experience was different. Thanks for watching. If you found this video at all useful, please like and subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel. And don't forget to add a comment if you have any questions.